2022 NHK trophy, my prediction for the pairs and the women. Um, Pairs, honestly, Riku, Miura, and Ryuichi Kihara, just like in the previous event, this is their coronation. All they have to do is skate somewhat clean. Probably they probably are in the same situation that Alexa and Brendan were in, whereas they could probably miss most of their elements and they're still going to win here. This is going to be their second gold medal and they're going to stamp their ticket to the Grand Prix final. Um, because this is a home event, I can see Riku and Ryuichi really wanting to go all out at this event. However, this is one of those cases where they should do the minimum and just get the job done. You know, Riku is just coming back from injury, and I can understand wanting to really deliver on home ice to the fans, your family, everyone who's supporting you. I really can understand them wanting to have their best outing, but the season is going to be pretty long. They still have the Grand Prix final. They probably are going to go to four continent. Then they have worlds. I This is more of, a pacing yourself. This is not a sprint. This is a long distance marathon for them. So I don't think they should go all out here. I think they should just do enough to keep themselves comfortably as the winner. But no matter what happened, this is the win for Ryuki and Ryochi. I definitely see them winning here. In second place, I was struggling between the French and the Americans. However, I'm gonna go with Camille Kovalev and Pavel Kovalev. The husband and wife team are coming off a silver medal win at home in France, and they know if they can get another silver medal here, they can pretty much guarantee themselves a ticket to the Grand Prix. They look like they are more prepared this season. They look like they're better paced. Again, I love seeing these more mature, well seasoned, well put together team. I know their elements are not at the level of what we're seeing from the Russians. But for me, this is a slow build. I'm looking to what we're going to see in 2026. And if this pair continues at the pace they are at and they continue to grow and they stay healthy, this is a pair that I would be interested in seeing in 2026. So rounding out the podium, I'm gonna put Emily Chen and Spencer Akira Howie. Elements for element, this team should win the silver medal here. However, they simply are not consistent. And also, they don't have that competitive willingness to grit and fight that some of the other teams have. Because I really like the lines, the look, the position, the presentation of this team. I am a fan of this team, but I do realize they're very inconsistent. I do realize that they don't have the mental fortitude that it takes for like some of the top skaters to get where they're at. So that's why I'm putting them in the bronze position instead of the silver. Unfortunately, the Germans tested positive for COVID, so Anika Haki and Robert Cano are not going to participate here. This would have been a wonderful opportunity for them. But still, they have Europeans coming up. They also have Worlds coming up. They should take this as an opportunity to rest and come back even stronger. If one of the top three teams falter, I can see the young Canadian team Brooke McIntosh and Benjamin Manar coming in and possibly meddling here. Depending on how the other teams do, I can definitely see them as the dark horse. Again, this is not going to be the highest level competition for pairs, but this is where we are in terms of the pairs discipline rebuilding itself from scratch. And I personally do not mind going through the process of the rebuilding. I know it's tedious, I know it's painful, but I'm always looking to what we're going to have 4 years from now as opposed to what we have today. Now, while the pairs event is going to be sparse, that is not the situation with the women. Just looking at the women entry list for the NHK makes me feel sick. Imagine having to be one of these competitors. Realistically, I would not want to participate in that. I'd be like, put me in an easier event, okay? Send me to England. Send me to France. I'm not going to Japan. Realistically, this should be the coronation of the Japanese women on home ice. And I feel like if everyone medals here and then my medals at her next Grand Prix event, that means we would have four Japanese women in the Grand Prix final. Just imagine that. Four Japanese women in the Grand Prix final. So, because the competition is so stiff here, I kind of have like what I think would happen or what I would like to happen and what I think will likely happen. Without a doubt, Kaori Sakamoto should win this event. She doesn't even have to have a great showing. She can just have an okay showing. As long as Kaori remains on her feet, I feel like the judges will assist her and she will get her second gold and make her way to the Grand Prix final. I would think Rinka Watanabe is technically the biggest threat to Kaori at this event. Rinka has actually already beaten Kaori this season, but that was at the beginning of the season, and Kaori was not at her best. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. But I feel like if both Rinka and Kaori go clean, without a doubt, Rinka will end up with the silver because Kaori will be given the gold. I think this is one situation where Rinka needs to play smart instead of hard. I think she should forego the triple axel and the short program, try to go clean to get herself as close to Kaori as she possibly can. And then if she's gonna go for a triple axel, try do it in the long program. But give herself enough buffer that at the very least she'll get a silver and that'll help her get to the Grand Prix final. Now, although I'm thinking we may just have a Japanese ladies podium here, the South Korean women can reign on the Japanese parade, starting with Yelen Kim. I feel like she will probably end up with a bronze medal here. Unfortunately, the bronze is the highest medal that I can see her getting. And this is for several reasons. The first being that the last time she was at a Grand Prix, she had a great short program and the judges still lowballed her. Second, the Korean women have been getting lowballed all season long, and I don't see that changing at this event or any other event. So I feel like the bronze is the only medal that Yellen could realistically walk away with. The only way I see her getting a silver or gold medal, it would be for the Japanese ladies to have a complete meltdown. Like it would have to be a complete and total meltdown because they're coming in with the home court advantage. And poor Yellen already did not have the judges in her corner to start with. So I'm gonna put Yellen in the bronze medal and be comfortable with her being there. Um, my pewter, I'm gonna go with Ember Glenn. I'm gonna go with Ember Glenn as my pewter. I'm not necessarily saying she will do it. I'm saying I'm going to go with her simply because if she can have a strong showing here, that would be two consecutive events of Amber skating two clean programs. That would make such a statement to the committee when it comes time to nationals, when it comes time to who's going to be on that team that they're sending to world. So I feel like what Amber does here, more so than the other ladies, really matters. So I'm gonna put her as my pewter. The other two South Korean women who can spoil the game for the Japanese, that is, if the Japanese women do not step up. First is Suyeon Ji. I mean, she has some of the cleanest jumps in women. She has great speed going in as well as coming out of her jump. Also, lovely spins and good skating skills. Don't think the judges will go with her, but we never know what could happen. I can definitely see her as a contender. We also have Soo Wee. She's making her senior debut. She's transitioning. Not everything is quite, completely worked out yet, but the foundation, the technical foundation is solid, and I see great potential for growth here. Um, if possible, I think more than likely we're going to have a Japanese women sweep in the podium. And that third medal would be Rion Sumiyoshi, who I have as the dark horse. That is only though if she delivers on the technical element that she's capable of. However, she does not have a lot of international competition experience. And the pressure to deliver on home ice is unlike any other pressures. So, because of that, although I do think she's going to be a podium finisher, I'm putting her in seventh place because I don't know how she will handle the pressure. And if she doesn't handle it well, the other ladies could easily pass her with cleaner performances. But honestly, I would love to see her land a true, fully rotated in the air, not hunched over Scampy, a true quad. I would love to see her land a clean quad. Rounding out the top eight for me would have to be the two American women. If I had to bet, I would go with Audrey Shen. I find that Shen is a little more consistent, and although she's more prone to under rotation, she's less likely to fall. I think if she can keep it fairly clean, even if she's called on some under rotations, if she could stay in her feet, I think she could do enough to again put herself in that conversation for the committee when it comes time to pick that team for Worlds, or at least a four continent assignment. Finally, we have Star Andrew. Honestly, her medal at Skate Canada was amazing. However, the competition there and the competition here are worlds apart. Nothing short of a complete meltdown of several women in this competition would lead to Star winning another medal. If Star can be between 5 to 8, if she can have a top 5 to top 8 finish, I feel like that would be a great outcome given the field that we are now facing. No matter how this turn out, I feel like this competition is going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be tears, there's going to be heartbreak, there's going to be screaming. Yes, it will all be done by me, but it will all happen. I feel like, why would you cram all of these women in this one event? Who makes these decisions? Who came up with this nonsense? I mean, really. Well, I still can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it all because after all, this is figure skating. The ice is slippery, the blades are thin, and everything that could happen probably will happen, and you never know. But this was my take on pairs and ladies and what I think the podium and placements will look like. But you guys let me know. Leave me a comment.